The most remarkable thing about what Trump has repeatedly done on the campaign trail is just repeatedly vilify and attack the very judge who's presiding over this case.
We have a Trump-hating judge. I don't think there's ever been a more conflicted judge. Crooked and conflicted, and I'm unconstitutionally gagged. He gagged me, so I'm not even supposed to be, I would say, talking to you because he gagged me.
I think in the political arena, he wants to paint himself as a victim of this process, a victim of the judge himself.
President Trump does, in fact, know what the gag order allows him to do and not allow him to do.
He's not allowed to attack witnesses, jurors, other people in the case, but he is allowed to attack the judge himself so far. And so while it might actually hurt him in court, he has found it politically advantageous to do so.
It wasn't the press that went to him. He went to the press.
Nobody is forcing him, but he is running for president. He has to be able to speak.
The annoyance for the prosecution is that there's a very clear gag order with very clear restrictions on what Trump can say, and that's quite common in criminal trials. And Trump is repeatedly towing up to that line, testing those limits, and in 10 cases, he has been found to have violated those limits.
It's clearly willful, clearly knowing. The defendant thinks the rules should be different for him.
Trump is not just a criminal defendant, of course. He's running for president, and his position is he has a First Amendment right to speak in the political arena, and that includes attacking his perceived enemies.
And there is no dispute, I think, among anybody, the court, or the government, that political attacks and responses to political attacks does not violate the gag order.
I don't think the fines themselves have any impact on Trump whatsoever. He can easily afford them, and indeed, he's using the contempt finding and the fines to raise more money for his campaign.
It appears that the $1,000 fines are not serving as a deterrent.
The judge made it very clear that if Trump continues to violate the gag order, the judge is going to consider going beyond these $1,000 fines.
Mr. Trump, it's important to understand that the last thing I want to do is to put you in jail. But, at the end of the day, I have a job to do, and part of that job is to protect the dignity of the judicial system and compel respect. Your continued violations of this court's lawful order threaten to interfere with the administration of justice in constant attacks which constitute a direct attack on the rule of law. I cannot allow that to continue.
I think for any other criminal defendant in any typical case, repeatedly violating a gag order the way that Trump has done, repeatedly commenting, criticizing witnesses, jurors, and other people involved in the case, defendants would have already found themselves in a jail cell for criminal contempt.